Live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
It's the KSM Show.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. And then they just actually my next guest is the first Zoom guest I had, and today he's back. But the next time a base studio, but today he's back, man. And today, with all respect to Kweku Sechiado, today I'm doing the real Kweku one-on-one. Why am I saying that? Because my guest is also called Kweku. And when we get to him, you find out why I'm so fired up, man. We're going to be talking about a few things. The main thing will be November 4th, upcoming November 4th. And then, those of you who remember, just this past Wednesday, General Numansa and Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo did a press conference. We're going to be looking at that too. But let me shut up. Let me introduce my guest right now. Put your hands together for my real brother on this Kweku one-on-one. Show some love for Kweku.
Good one. Good one.
Bravo.
Yeah, Kweku. Now, what's what to say?
Oh, by everything, grace, love, everything is cool. And I'm glad to have you today.
Good one. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Before we start, Kweku, just one quick commercial break. Well,
Okay.
folks, so stick around. We're taking a quick commercial break. When I come back, Kweku one-on-one, a day at the time. Stick around, we'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
Cactus Creek. It is no longer Ghana's best kept secret. It's an open secret. So serene, so heavenly. And the meals? Just like home cooking. Cactus Creek. Your soul will thank you. Call or WhatsApp 055-039-5007.
Agyapong Essentials has good news for you. If you're in Takoradi and its environs, don't worry. You can pick up Agyapong Essentials jackets at Ruler Unisex Boutique in Anaji, Takoradi, Queen of Peace in Takofo Road. Call or WhatsApp 0544 548766.
KSM Show.
So one more time, let me welcome you to the show.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Before we start everything that we want to talk about today, this past Wednesday, I think, General Numansa and Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo had a presser, and they addressed some very, very, very important issues. What was it that struck you about their press conference?
Well, Kweku, thank you very much for having me, and my greetings to viewers watching us now. Again, referencing Kweku Sechiado, also a big brother like yourself. Myself and Kweku Sechiado have had a few encounters and engagements and all of that. And all of you have served as a pillar in educating and helping us to understand the frontiers of media. So as young people, whilst we're growing, they need to understand the fundamentals of media and to champion their cause for society to know what is happening, at their confines of educating, entertaining, and informing. And so thank you to all of you as senior men still in the industry, trying to help build you serve as a cornerstone to the industry and continue to maintain this status quo. Kweku,
Thank you.
Yes.
Quickly, the presser.
the press
The press conference,
conference
yeah.
of yes of Nunu Mensah and Dr. Nyahota Makro, for me, it's a call or a cause to be concerned about this particular press conference held. Now, you and I recall that before the press conference, we're trying to, as it were, phantom, hey, Charlie, these are two military former officers. What would be the issues that these officers want to say or tell us, or what are the peculiar situations confronting us, even though we know, but would it be different from that of the situation already, militating against us, and that they are coming to talk about it or something otherwise? But I think having listened to them a couple of hours, what they have said is not far from what we know already. But again, it goes to emphasize and reinforce the situation that whoever and the establishment, the commander-in-chief of the security services, the president, Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, must wake up. And I recall that, Nunu Mensah said that if they have to remove the wax in their ears so they can listen to other things that ought to come on the table. And if I heard him right, he also made assertion that they've tried several attempts to meet the president and all fiasco. So a lot of things are pressing on us. People have a lot on their chest. People have a lot on their minds. They want to cough it out. Kweku, failure to get this done, then it precipitated a reaction. And some of these reactions, the surprises, the stupendous that it comes with is what we are seeing happening in East Africa, in North Africa, as far as these coups are concerned across us. Nobody knows what may happen to Ghana if all of the things we are talking about fall on deaf ears. But I tell you what, quickly, I will not listen to Dr. Nyahota Makro or Nunu Mensah in order to assess the situation. And I can positively assert that Ghana is a crime scene now.
So wait a minute. You say Ghana is a crime scene?
Yes, Kweku, you heard me loud and clear. The entire nation is a crime scene. Oh, yes, it's a crime scene because the news by the hour, both of us are newsmakers. The stories by the hour gives the situation clear that the country has become a crime scene. Look at what is happening at the renal unit in the Ghana's premier hospital, Kolebu. As of last 2 weeks and this week, I don't know where, as of now, the death toll. But last week, when the death toll was numbering 17, 18, 19 thereof. When was the period we had that the renal unit could record such an astronomical figure on the back of, somebody's introducing some taxes that we do not know where it is coming from? The Kolebu chief executive has denied knowledge of this. The Parliamentary Committee on Health has no knowledge of this. Number three, Parliament itself has not even sat to debate as to whether or not there's a need to increase any sort of fee, or if you like, some taxes from 450 to say 750 or some sort. Yet the Kolebu Hospital, the Kolebu Hospital is implementing this. And the most sad part, which is a crime, is that the chief executive, who has the oversight responsibility of Kolebu, says, hey, I don't know anything about this. Wow. Okay, you don't know anything about it. Now, members of parliament are saying, we haven't, as it were, discussed this. So it will be proper for Kolebu to stop, call a break to this. Or if you like, persons who have come to as it were, run the system, when they come back again, the 7+ that you've taken from them, don't charge for that. Give it to them free. So it means that you went there last week. This week you go there. They don't have to charge you yet another fee for that dialysis exercise. But the reports we are picking, Kweku, it's not as what I'm telling you. Each and every time they go, they take this money, 750 or whatever it is, and it goes on and on and on. Why should this be? Now check what is happening at the scholarship secretariat. That the scholarship secretariat has become yet another zone where people are giving scholarships to their cronies and loved ones and purely relatives. When in actual sense, the scholarship secretariat was not meant for political apparatchiks, friends and loved ones and what have you. It must be spread across the country. Everybody regardless of who you are, tribe, name, ethnicity, and what have you, must be able to access the scholarship. Is that what is going on there? Just last week, we heard the news, what is happening there. And who is showing the concern in order to, as it were, bring this debilitating crisis to a closure. Now come to domestic lobbying. Kweku, you and I know that this current IGP, Dr. George Kufu Dampare, lobbied. There was somebody there before Dampare became an IGP, is it not? Now, how it would be that IGP Dampare would just wake up and go and occupy that seat as an IGP without he going through the processes of lobby. Okay, so let's say that, you see, Ghanaians are sometimes can behave a bit myopic. Excuse my language, but that's the fact. This Alex, retired police officer, Alex Manson, whatever his name is, yes, is quoted to have gone to Bugri to lobby, blah, blah, blah. Forget about the political aspect of it, that I don't want to go there. But if he even went to Bugri to lobby, fine. Now, the matter is not a matter that must be in my bedroom or your bedroom, so long as the matter is already in the public domain, because there was an audio recording, and the audio recording is telling a story about what has happened within the police administration. Because of this whole thing precipitated an ad hoc committee, and then they have to invite all these persons. They've come to speak their mind. The IGP was compelled to come. He came, said a few things, even though he tried to, as it were, say a lot of things to lure Ghanaians into a certain sympathy direction, or some of us. But after this, some police officers have written to that ad hoc committee saying that they are witnesses to what you call extrajudicial killings. So they want to come and testify. They went to Parliament and told the ad hoc committee to give them whistleblower confidential protection before the very eyes of all of us, Kweku. That letter has been leaked to press, notwithstanding. The IGP has been asked to appear at the committee for further interrogations. Here, his lawyer, who is also a very good friend of mine, a brother, Kwame Jan, says, no, I am going to do everything possible to prevent the IGP, from further interrogations, or otherwise to say appear before the committee for further interrogations and questioning. Why? What is it that the IGP has to hide? What is it that the IGP has to hide? Is it true that for some of us who operate as security and intelligence watchers, my question, IGP, do you have something to hide? The extrajudicial killings we are talking about, has it actually occurred? Is it true that some 9 persons have been murdered in the northern region? What is it? Is it true that this IGP has created a pseudo police, units within the police service, and they're extremely or fundamentally loyal to the IGP? Is it true? There are lots of build-up of allegations. This IGP must be clear. So if I say the whole nation has become a crime scene, it goes beyond even a crime scene. And there's a lot that we, as a media, as journalists, we need to investigate. We need to talk about it more. But then again, the media has become an accomplice. It's become an accomplice in the whole situation.
We have so much ground to cover, but I'm glad you have introduced this way, and you are trying to suggest that based on the things you have said, we are in fact a crime scene. Well, let's move away. Let's move forward a little bit. Okay, we had the generals talking. You have come to say that they didn't even there was not even a need for that, because we know and we're experiencing all the things that we're talking about. So let's move on now. I remember something Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo said, and this is what he said, and I want to move forward with this question. He said that whoever the next president is, and I'm trying to segue November.
Exactly, I know where you are going. Yeah.
Yes. Whoever the next president is, Nyaho Tamaklo says, if that president does not actively, more or less, prosecute crimes against its state, he was going to be on very, very bad terms with the president. Your quick comment on that before we go into...
He says that whoever takes the leadership position after this government and refuse to investigate I think he was specific to say, their call it financial crimes or the allegations that quantum of money has been siphoned out of the shores of Ghana into several bank accounts out there. Kweku, sometime last week, I interviewed Dr. Utterances myself on my program, the Hawk TV, and he said same categorically that the political establishment now, before or after leaving government, they must be investigated about financial monies that has been transferred from one. You know, I don't know how much that Nyahota Maklo know than we know, or the kind of allegations that are flying, that if the government of today are even aware, would have to open their doors and say, whatever Nyahota Maklo is saying, hey guys, our doors are open, come and investigate us about monies, this. But it does appear that what Nyahota Maklo has said time and time, and it's not the first time he's saying this. He has said some on my show. I think he has also said some on Joy FM multimedia. And it's like, hey, the government is not ready to hit to his call and say we've opened our doors. But there could also be more to that of what Nyahota Maklo is saying, that the monies, the funds that are in this country, that we do not have an idea of where the money has gone to. And otherwise to say, we also have X, Y, 1, 2, 3 projects to show that the money has been sunk into projects and all of that. Lack of displaying of all of this may end up in the bedroom or has stolen a huge quantum of money belonging to Ghanaians.
Okay, let me jump this a bit forward. Speaking of whoever is elected and the charge that they have to do by investigating financial laws, etc. Speaking of that, on November 4th, the key players in the NPP are Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy Agyapong. Where's your bet? Who do you think is going to sweep this thing?
First of all, I wouldn't be tempted to answer the question, who wins November 4th? But I know now Alan is out of the equation. So the contest is going to be a very fierce one between Kennedy Kwame Agyapong, the Vice President Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, and then the Agric Minister. But then when you center on the above persons mentioned, Kweku, again, you can zero down to 2 people who are going to make the contest more fearful, and that is Kennedy and the Vice President, period. Akoto a free year for me should even go to bed. You know, it will be a travesty and miscarriage of justice to spend 1 pesewa for anybody to chop among the delegates and make him feel and as it were to believe that he's going to lead the NPP. Absolutely not. Now, because of Alan is out of the equation, Alan still has some support base in the NPP. So that support base between now and November is quite a number of days, weeks to go. Would begin to contemplate as to whether to add up to, even though Alan has not spoken, to ask it were to suggest that, hey, I want to back Vice President Bawumia or Kennedy Kwame Agyapong. If you look at the equation now, Alan is out, but the supporters of Alan in NPP still remain, even though some of them are disappointed. Of course, they are crestfallen that Alan left, because I'm not quite sure that the supporters of Alan anticipated that after the Electoral College Congress, Alan made an announcement and said he was going to come back again after consultation with his family to decide where to go and how to go about it. They ever anticipated that the comeback of Alan would be the announcement that he's completely gone and that he's going to form his own movement. So
and you are suggesting that,
but nevertheless.
So the suggestion is that now he has supporters and they're going to split into either following Dr. Bawumia or Kennedy.
Exactly. Although Alan hasn't mentioned this, he hasn't made any declaration yet. But automatically and politically, the followers of Alan will surely decide where to go, either to go with Kennedy or with Bawumia, or they will split. 3 of this, one is likely to happen, and that will make the election more fierce contest. That's obviously what's going to happen. Yeah. Okay. And then we can also analyze.
Let's hold it right there, take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll take it from there. And also start thinking about this while in commercial break, because I'm going to ask you, since Kennedy is your former boss, will you endorse him? And what do you think of him? Question coming up after the commercial break. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
The Wizard. Azyapong Essentials has good news for you. If you're in Takoradi and its environs, don't worry. You can pick up Azyapong Essentials jacket at Ruler Unisex Boutique in Anaji, Takoradi, Queen of Peace in Takofo Road. Call or WhatsApp 0544 548766.
Cactus Creek. It is no longer Ghana's best kept secret. It's an open secret. So serene, so heavenly. And the meals? Just like home cooking. Cactus Creek. Your soul will thank you. Call or WhatsApp 055 039 5007.
KSM Show.
Yes. We're back. And I've done this election shows for a while. We started with Pancho, who said, no matter what we say, it is obviously game for Bawumia. That's what Pancho said. And then our guest that came after that, that was St. Joyce. He says, no matter what we say, it's Kennedy's game, man. Nobody can touch Kennedy. And then we have Samantz. Samantz also came and he said, he doesn't care what we say. It looks like it is for Bawumia to lose, so is Bawumia. So now we are with the great Kweku Annan. Kweku, whose game is it?
Kweku, spare me this temptation that let me stay away outside the box. So I don't make any prediction as to whose game it would be. Okay. And I'm doing this cautiously also for a very good reason.
Okay.
Even though quite a lot of happenings, which gives credence to the fact that yet it's all or has still not been well between myself and Kennedy. And so going on any of this direction may mean a lot of interpretations that after this program, I may be forced to get out there to be doing some kind of battle. So I don't want to make any predictions so far.
Okay.
But
so I said
earlier that if you look at the two campaigns between Kennedy and the vice president, for me, I think the vice president has conducted himself so well ever since the electoral college elections, were held just a couple of sometime last month, So if the vice president would continue on that direction, you and I know what it means by going strictly on this direction, and perhaps who are the handlers of the vice president. I personally have spoken out, not in the year of Kennedy. I said it out there that one thing has defeated the purpose of Kennedy, and it's very likely that he wins the flag bearership or he does not, is on the back of his handlers that have cost him a lot of damage politically. Because a lot of things that Kennedy has said, even before Annie Omasge said, and when he was out there to do the real campaign, and the handlers ought to have guided him, navigate him, and walk him through the pipeline to his.
What are some of these things that you think will come back to haunt him?
Kennedy is out there Kennedy is out there making a lot of remarks, but sometimes the Ghanaian don't understand. We don't understand between criticism and also going direct avalanche of attacks. What he's doing out there is not criticizing his party. He's attacking his party. And again, Kennedy is not like you and I. We are outsiders looking in. But this one, Kennedy Kwame Agyapong, is an insider looking inside out. So what he's doing does not come on the back of he criticizing his party. He's attacking his party again. Whatever that seemed to be that of his avalanche of attacks and vituperation, he's equally guilty as that of the party is guilty. Now, watch this. Sometime, I think a week prior to the electoral college elections, he was heard to have said, quoted to have said that, yes, he was on his own network saying that NPP, munim kwa fast way pass for example, 11 and you see, oftentimes he comes out, then he gives headlines. Listen to me, Kweku. He gives headlines of things that he knows the party has committed crimes, put it crime in quotes, or some errors that the party has committed. He used these headlines, line them up, give it to the party, and then it becomes like a warning to them that watch this, that if you are not careful, I may bring 1, 2, 3 out for Ghanaians to know. But for all you know, the headlines that he brings out, he's on one hand part of executing that particular crime or otherwise, whatever that appeared to be an issue he's warning the party of, he might have been involved. Number one is how he said, do you know how your party e-levy your parliament? Would Kennedy Kwame Agyapong tell Ghanaians and the NPP, not even the NPP, because would Kennedy tell all of us Ghanaians what exactly went on in the passage of the levy? Would he be bold enough to expose the Speaker of Parliament? I repeat, would he be bold enough to expose the Speaker of Parliament? Would he be bold enough to expose the minority group who were part of the conspiracy? Would he be bold enough to expose the National Security Ministry officials who were part of that conspiracy? Would he mention names like Afenyo Markin and the rest? Precise what went on, the meeting that took off, and what went on in that meeting before the passage of the levy. Mind you, a meeting went on, and that meeting shortly finished. The next day, 24 hours, the president was compelled to go to Parliament to, deliver his speech. It took us almost 3-4 months for Ghanaians and the 8th Parliament of the Fourth Republic to debate over whether or not it's, economically prudent to pass this e-levy. He was a panacea of this e-levy campaign. Kennedy is referencing Kennedy. He is a panacea of the passage of e-levy. What went on? Now, what went on in Parliament that he spearheaded that agenda? Would he be able to tell the full story? So and I'm just giving you one. So if you come out on national TV or radio to tell your party that, do you know how we passed this, we did this, X, Y, Z, and I am saying, all the things you are saying out there, you have or might have probably been involved in one way or the other. But you come back and give them the headlines and let it sound as if that you are blackmailing the party, just for the party to be able to, as it were, go quiet, go down for you. For me, that is not a
yeah. Are you also suggesting that he cannot extricate himself as a part of the whole conspiracy, whatever thing that went through? He is a part, and he can't.
No, how can he? On a more serious note, when you give headlines, like, for example, do you know how we won election 2012, election 2016, election 2020, and all of that? This catalog of events gives you up and the party. So what it means is this: you and the party have involved on one hand a certain crime. Now I'm asking a question, for example, how did somebody, a gentleman like Anoche, how did Anoche, get here? Who brought Anoche and why? And what role did Anoche play in the 2016 elections? And what role again did he play in the 2020 elections? And then later, subsequently, Anoche became the CEO of National Communications Authority. Have Ghanaians heard him say, have we hear him say that, yes, I brought Anoche, blah, 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 blah. What meeting that went on between he and Anoche in his New Jersey's home in the United States before Anoche came? What is it about? So all I'm trying to say is that, for me, all of these things that he has characterizing a certain crime that the NPP has committed there, and line them up and make it and pretend as if that you are an outsider looking in and then telling a story. For the NPP as a party plus him are within a certain crime scene. That's it. It's not something that goes well and it makes him, on
So
top
in
of
a,
it.
in a,
That,
in a
hey,
nutshell, what you're suggesting is that all of these things will come back to haunt him.
exactly, because listen, Kweku, even let's say that yes, by tomorrow you are the flag bearer of the party. Are you to say that, hey, I'm a flag bearer of the NPP party, where you have said to your party executives that I don't even know why, I'm quoting, I don't even know why I belong to such a party. Hey,
Okay.
is it the same party you want to be the flag bearer? Okay, now you are the flag bearer of the party. So would you say that this is the party that now I'm to lead? Then statements like MPP paying for the when we Jimmy for excuse my language. Hey, are you coming to work with Jimmy for one?
And lead that party as a flag bearer?
Lead that party. There are some video footages that we all have, we know, that you are saying on an interview that rich people in politics are criminals. I'm quoting him. He says that rich people in the Ghanaian politics are all thieves, the word. Thieves. So the host asked him a question. So are you a thief? And he answered affirmative, yes, I'm a thief. So if you're a thief, what are you doing here?
So you're
We
suggesting a
people,
scenario, for example,
people who are,
I'm just answering a guess here. You're suggesting a scenario, for example, that if for any reason he becomes a flag bearer, most of these statements that he has made will be played back to him and people will question, is this the same party that you want to lead?
Absolutely. It will be played back. It will be exactly. Kweku, the media in Ghana is more crafty in such directions. They will bring it up in the very situation that so the MP plus him should embrace themselves ahead of he perhaps winning the flag bearership race, and it will be played back, it will be slapped on his face to look at it and answer these questions. And for me, if the media does that, the media cannot be, to say that hey, we are playing what you call a political smear campaign against Kennedy Agyapong. That's why it is said that Charlie, sometimes when you come from a royal home, be guided by your thoughts and your actions and your words, because one day you will walk on the aisle and go and sit on the throne, and they will heap on your head your what, your kingship, whatever, and your stool. And from there, whatever that you did, you said to the society and the community, will be played back at you, and you'll be forced to eat a humble pie. Kennedy is at the crossroad at this time. I guess that the handlers have seen and they are watching the space and we see a lot of, a looming storm. And they say, hey, Charlie, let's redirect our snails and our thoughts and all of that.
That's a very, 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 very profound and observations that you are bringing out.
Yeah.
Let's look at this way. He seemed to have a good sway over, I don't know whether I call it the grassroots or the quite a lot of supporters following him. When he went to Kumasi, I don't know whether it was just a crowd or whether it was actually real people who are out there who are looking for a showdown to bring Kennedy into power. My question is this: all the questions that you are raising that you say can come back to haunt him, are the millions of people who are following him aware of these questions, but they don't care? Or you think that maybe it hasn't crossed their mind?
This is the crux of the issue. You see, fundamentally, the Ghanaian is losing focus. We are losing the sight, we are losing the psyche, and we are losing so many things fundamentally. You see, we've reached an era, all of us, we feel that, hey, so long as we want a leader to lead this country, and somebody just pop up like KSM, Kwekwanan pops up, and hey, so long as Kweku or KSM can speak boldly, okay? It's the mindset of the Ghanaian is being guided and fueled or propelled by the fact that, oh, Kweku, Anan is a kukudu for he speaks well, he speaks boldly, or perhaps he's telling the real story and it cannot be seen to be that of say he's lying. That alone becomes the fundamental benchmark for the to accept me or you straight up that we should lead them. But for all they know, beneath or aside that of the things that runs as the perfect criteria to lift me to the bar, there are a lot of, there are a lot of hidden things that the Ghanaian hasn't searched for it. Other than that, let me give you an example. And the example is the current president, Akufo-Addo. Let me use Akufo-Addo as the benchmark for them. In NPP, gone are the days all the way the formation of NPP, all till NPP became what? And Akufo-Addo became the flag bearer. Nobody in NPP, and I repeat, Obi any NPP more, or you bold no to me kasa, the alacrity, his prowess, and his championing the cause for human rights and the construction of the constitution on the back of his vituperation to say, hey, I am Akufo-Addo. All on the back of this, against the Rawlinses in the era, if you recall. Nobody in NPP displayed that. All the way till Akufo-Addo succeeded to become the flag bearer. Everybody in NPP knew that, hey, Akufo-Addo is the man, is it not? They believed that he was the man for them. Why do you think the narrative has changed today? Even, not even with Ghanaians, so within the NPP. Within the NPP, the narrative has changed that Akufo-Addo within. Is the NPP talking, not me, not you. The NPP, they are talking, say, Akufo-Addo. Why? When he asked them the question, say, why? As someone can say, we didn't want Akufo-Addo to be this. Akufo-Addo was this, then they will go back and mention all the things they knew Akufo-Addo said and did in that era. So they are disappointed and all of that. So all I'm trying to say is that there are two equations here. When the person hasn't become a president in his private capacity, he said, they get to say a lot of things like Nyahota Maklo and General Nunu Mensah were, quoted to have said in their press conference, politicians are the same all over the world. They said this. They are the same. So people must not fall for some of these tricks that, hey, so long as Kennedy is speaking out there, that vociferous, that pressure is mounting, and also casting insinuations, taking his own party on, and we don't see it as a criticism, but rather an attack, and people say, oh, all of this buck together, put together, shake together, round over, let it fly. He's the man of the moment. Kweku, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot. So we have to be very careful about all of this. Not going even too far. The man who became a dictator and subsequently turned to become a Democrat, former and late Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings. When he came, what didn't Ghanaians say? Let the blood flow, let the blood flow. At the last minute, the same Ghanaians will say, let's crucify Rawlings. And that's what we did to him. So we've seen the characteristics and the semblance of this and this inertia that somebody will come with, that hey, I can change Ghana overnight. In this day, Kennedy Agyapong should slow down and not to say a lot, because whether he likes it or not, coming from the legislative household, he's also an integral part of the executive somehow. You are the chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee, is it not? You're also the board chairman of Ghana Gas and many other state institutions and all of that. Your children are on the board of state institutions. Your wife is also a board chair of Ghana Marital, blah, blah, blah. So many of them. So if you sit outside the fence pretending, you're saying you are an insider eating inside. Yes. Okay. Is it true that was given a contract to supply military hardware to the Ghana Armed Forces? Is it true? Would he confirm this? How much was involved? Again, is it true that you got that contract because you are the chairman of Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament? Would this then sound to us that, hey, there's some conflict of interest here and he must be investigated? He also came and told Ghanaians that GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, are chasing him at his plant site and all of that. What went on? Is it true that they are hunting him on the back of his, bringing stuff, a factory into Ghana, or it's a different story altogether that we are not ready to tell that story? Kweku, I can go and I have a lot. He knows how I do my work.
Yeah.
So for us, we are simply waiting for the NPP to get to the crossroad. Whoever the NPP elect as their flag bearer, now that we know what the NDC is waiting for, it's all about that of who brings on the table, the flag bearer of NPP.
I know.
Then we as a journalist,
with all respects, sometimes how simplicity overruns everything. I can see somebody watching and say, "Oh, now say, you know, you are the same person who was accused some time ago that you have insulted Baumia." But that's what I know will come out, because from your presentation, it looks as if that all you're saying, say, "What position? Say, respond to that, please."
Yeah, Kweku, I would do, precise critique on the vice president, if assuming that the vice president wins the law, and the vice president wants, the popular vote. It will be where then would I have to take the vice president to the chopping board and ask him some very fundamental questions, of which some I asked the vice president on his own network. And I was quoted to have insulted the vice president, which is not.
I remember that.
Because that question to the vice president was the very 72 hours I recall, when the president had written a letter to the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, to quickly engage the IMF officials for Ghana to quickly embrace the IMF. And I say, hey, Ghanaians have forgotten and say, yes, the vice president once upon a time told Ghanaians on the back of John Mahama, then the president, that when your fundamentals are weak, you will not get it right, you fail. So these are and you see, both establishment, NPP and NDC, must get it straight into their heads that when journalists are bold enough to be asking these questions, do not misunderstand, don't take the journalist on a swipe. Don't make it look like, hey, the journalist doesn't have the right to ask you these questions. The moment you misunderstood the journalist from that drive, you are losing the equation. You are losing it, because it is our social corporate responsibility to bring the politicians much closer to the reality and the citizens you are serving. You want us to allow you to come rule the country like playing chess game or running your own business in your bedroom, as and when you feel like waking up in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening, and then you go out there and tell your workers how they should run business. No, Ghana is a corporate body belonging to all of us. It doesn't belong to NPP, NDC. So when journalists are working, they should allow journalists to operate in that free flow environment. We are the gatekeepers of the system, and the media cannot, will not, and may not be ignored. As a significant political actors, we are an integral part of the decision-making process in the country, as far as the fourth Republican Constitution is concerned.
And you have truly spoken like a good thinking, independent journalist, and I love everything you said. But unfortunately, time has caught us. But the next meeting, folks, and you please wait for this. As soon as my studio is done in Aburi, I want to have you there for one more round. And there's plenty we plan to talk about, but we couldn't get into it because
true.
So in the meantime, Kweku, thank you so much. And I think you have brought some amazing insights into everything I've been talking about for the last month. You brought those insights out, and we really appreciate that. Very, 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 very well. All I can say is that I can't wait to have you, Kweku, one-on-one in the studio and not on Zoom. So thank you so much, man.
Exactly so.
I really, really, really appreciate it. And so until we meet again and talk Ghana, let me say thank you very, very much. Folks, I think we are all very, very charged, and we are all looking forward to that great day called November 4th, where we shall see things. So until we come back again and do our next episode, which will be equally exciting, join me in saying a big thank you to my own friend, Kweku Anan, and AKA Kweku One-on-One for this show. And until we come back, KSM signing off, saying as I always do, I am out of, let the whole world say, here.